What time is it? It's Packard Pokes At time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesAt where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and Wednesday host, Packard Sonic. Tonight we're actually doing the show on a Wednesday due to a scheduling conflict I have with my job. I have to basically work my ass off from morning till evening, which is from midnight to midnight. So, I'm gonna be working for a while there.
Right.
So yeah, so we had to do this little show tonight on a off day during the week. So hey, it happens, you know. Anyway, joining me.
I've seen you on that corner more than just those hours.
It's a good corner, you know, Joe. Joining us from the far East Coast is Joe Unseen.
Bum, 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 bum. Here I am.
Everybody loves a parade. Some people are lucky enough to actually be in a parade. And then there are sometimes those people who are in a parade and you have no idea what's going on around you because there's some nut job that doesn't like the kind of parade that you happen to be in. I'm talking about gay pride parades. And these are all over the country. And in a lot of places, they are in other countries as well.
They're all over the world.
They're all over the world, in fact, yes. And over in Jerusalem, they were having a gay pride parade. And, you know, they're just doing their thing, saying, hey, we're here. Let's everybody, you know, just if you're gay, that's fine, you know. And some nut job who had been in prison for attacking somebody at a gay pride parade 10 years ago prior was out, and they happened to catch it on video, him stabbing several people in the back. And he was an Orthodox Jew who was released from prison just weeks ago after serving 10 years for stabbing marchers at a 2005 gay pride parade, also in Jerusalem. Shishel was also arrested immediately after attack, according to the Israel police. He killed a teen there, Shirka Banki. She was just there to support the gay community. I don't know if she was gay herself or not. It really doesn't matter. But the fact is that she died just going to a parade. There's a great picture of him on CNN. This guy, he looks like psychotic. I mean, he just looks like he was out for blood, and he had some serious mental problems. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is really tragic. I heard about it here. It was on the front page of all the New York newspapers, and like you said, it was caught on video, so there was lots of really graphic pictures. It was awful. And this guy, if he got caught in 2005 for doing the same thing, then I guess he didn't realize in the 10 years since then that everybody's got a high definition video camera in their pocket now.
Yeah,
like that's the big change in the world that's happened since 2005. And so there's lots of very clear pictures of this guy and his face and what he was doing, and I'm glad they caught him.
Yeah,
because that's just awful. That's just terrible. This poor girl, she died from her injuries. And she was just there to have a good time. You know, I mean, those parades are like a party. They're fun.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to one of myself.
Not supposed to go on.
Yeah, I've never actually been to one myself. I'm in the middle of.
Because you hate gay people, I know.
No, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. That's why we don't have these kind of parades, unfortunately.
You have gay people in Wisconsin. Yeah, I've heard that story before.
If they had one, if they had a gay pride parade here in Wausau, I'd go to it. I've never seen one. I've never heard of any, but I would go.
You should make a sign and hold a one-man parade.
Oh, like that one guy? He's like, there was a guy a couple weeks ago. He's like, I'm going to have a straight pride parade. He's put a straight pride parade on his Facebook and everything. He gets down there. He got the permit and everything, and he's marching down the street all by himself.
What a loser.
That guy was a loser. So was this guy here that did the attack.
Now, did he act alone? Was he all by himself?
He was he acted completely by himself. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he acted alone there. So
yeah, hopefully this time they don't let him out of prison again.
yeah, this guy, I don't think he's out. I don't think he's ever going to see the light of day after this, after killing somebody. The other time he had just stabbed some people, and he just injured somebody. He was supposed to get 12 years. He got out 2 years early for good behavior. So this guy here, he needed to go away. There's a quote here. It says, people celebrating their freedom and expressing their identity were viciously stabbed. We must not delude a lack of tolerance will lead to us to disaster. We cannot allow such crimes, and we must condemn those who commit and support them.
Well, now it's escalated. I mean, last time he just injured some people.
Yeah.
This time he injured some people and killed a person. So now they have to dig a really deep hole, put him in it, and never let him out.
Yeah. This guy should be put under the prison. The people who are out there that are against people having gay pride parades or gay sex or whatever, you guys are on the wrong side of history here. And no amount of killing, shaming, or anything like that you do is going to make it go away. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, what did he accomplish here? I mean, all he did was hurt his own cause.
Yes, absolutely.
He didn't help it. He's not going to end gay pride. He's just helping show how wrong bigotry is.
Yes. I think this was partially religiously motivated. He was an Orthodox Jew. And now you hear a lot of stuff in the news about the Orthodox Jews. They won't let women sit down next to them in the airplanes or on the bus or whatever. And we've talked about them here on the show as well.
Yeah.
Where
I know some sects, they don't allow the females to even read. They're not allowed to be literate in any way.
Yeah,
which is just crazy. That's just nuts.
No education for you. You must just spread legs.
Well, I think it's part of their belief is that the women aren't allowed to read scripture, and if they knew how to read at all, then they might accidentally read scripture.
Yeah. Then
so to protect them for their safety, it's all for their safety. They're just kept illiterate so they don't accidentally slip and fall and read scripture.
And accidentally fall and realize that the shit that they're believing is garbage and stop believing in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what this guy's motivation was. I don't know a lot about what this guy was up to, but if he attacked 2 different gay pride parades, then he's got some kind of issue with gay people or with gay pride. So
yeah. Dawkins is suggesting that I back away from impersonations. That's what I do. I'm trying to define them. But I agree with Connie's comment here in the chat room. Said religion should not be taught to the mentally ill. So
that's a really fantastic point, actually.
It is.
That should be a T-shirt. But then where do we draw the line with mentally ill? It's like, well
yeah, true. I would say that's about 80% of Americans.
Or you go to like one of those tent revival meetings and you look around and you're like, all right, how do we determine which ones are mentally ill and which ones aren't?
The ones that are in that tent for the revival.
or the people who are speaking in tongues across town at the Pentecostal church.
At the Pentecostal church? Yeah, those ones too. I know. I was part of that group at one point, so I know.
Okay. Find the ones that are mentally ill. And somebody's like, it's like, oh no.
Teach me how to be sensible, logical, responsible, practical.
And tonight we have named that logical fallacy. And we're going to bring up our question for tonight. And our logical fallacy question is, marriage is the union between man and woman. Therefore, gay marriage is wrong. Is this A, appeal to spite, B, appeal to nature, C, appeal to tradition, or D, appeal to flattery?
Appeal to tradition.
You don't want to think about it for a little while?
What? We're not supposed to just say what it is? Or did I get it wrong?
No, I didn't say you got it wrong. I'm not saying you got it right
Appeal
either.
to flattery. E, all of the above.
Z, none of the above. No.
Do you mean talk out the answer?
Why do you think it's C, appeal to tradition?
Because it's not the other three. No, I mean, they're talking about what they think traditionally marriage is, which is between a man and a woman. And that's not mentioned in the Bible, so it's not a biblical tradition. And it's certainly not a historical tradition in human cultures as we look at what the Egyptians or the Greeks or the Romans or the ancient Chinese or the ancient Hindus, what all these different cultures considered marriage. It hasn't always been clear-cut with a man and a woman. Some cultures, the man and the woman that were in a marriage weren't even in love with each other.
That's
It was
true.
expected that it was like a figurative marriage, and they were expected to have other lovers on the side. So it's an appeal to tradition, but it's a false tradition. It's their idea of what the tradition is. That doesn't match up with the scripture or with what actual history shows us what cultures of traditions have what marriage has been throughout history.
Right. All right, let's find out for sure. And you are right, it is C, appeal to tradition, claiming something is true because it is apparently has always been that way.
I want to change my answer. It's an appeal to the sharpshooter fallacy.
Appeal to the sharpshooter fallacy.
Yes. Because that guy and that woman, they're married, so right there is an example of traditional marriage. It's a sharpshooter fallacy.
Dawkins Dog is from the chat room here. He says Hindus have arranged marriage. Fundamental Christians have deranged marriage.
Again with the T-shirts from the chat room.
I should definitely put these on shirts. Just put get a nice little logo there for the show. We do have a quick commercial we need to get to, and then we'll be back in just a few moments to ruin the rest of the show for you.
Contact us by email at ppappodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter as at Packard Pokes At. Like us on Facebook.com/Packard Pokes At. Call our Google Voice and leave a message at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and we will respond to it on the show. Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Join us live at vonlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. During the show, you can share your thoughts with us by calling 857-216-3200 using PIN number 35368 or on uberconference.com/Packard Pokes At. For links to the stories, visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com. You can help support the show by purchasing merchandise from cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At or make a donation to the show at patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. If you can't afford any money, why not share the show with your friends and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker, and on YouTube. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
Get a divorce.
But isn't that a sin?
Mark, just about everything is a sin. You ever sat down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
I love that.
I know, it's one of our great clips. Over in Saudi Arabia, one of the ministers over there, he is calling for a ban on blasphemy, not just in his country. He wants to expand it to the entire planet. So if you say something bad about any religion, not just his religion, but any religion whatsoever, then you should be prosecuted for it. He's called on the international community to ban all criticism of religion at a July 25th symposium on media coverage of religious symbols in international law. El-Mojid Ala Omar, director for external relations for the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, said, We have made it clear that freedom of expression without limits or restrictions would lead to the violation and abuse of religious and ideological rights. This requires everyone to intensify efforts to criminalize insulting heavenly religious prophets, holy books, religious symbols, and places of worship. So if you go by a place of worship and you're not agreeing with them for whatever reason, you decide to give them the finger, I guess we're going to take you to jail for that. Joe, your thoughts?
I'm in. I mean, this is like a voluntary thing, right?
No. Mandatory.
Mandatory.
He wants it to be mandatory.
I don't know, it sounds kind of like I'm sick of people criticizing my religion, so let's make it illegal for all religions to be criticized. Let's just take any criticism of any faith off the table, because you know what? I'm just tired of defending my own, and I'm sure everybody else is tired of defending their religions too. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Come on, let's face it. You can't even go on Facebook anymore without these goddamn atheists coming around and saying, you know, I think what you're saying is wrong, and here's why. And it's just, you know, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. That's what's happening. He's a cleric in Saudi Arabia. He has absolutely no authority over anything. He could say like you know, I declare from now on, pizza is outlawed because it is against all the world's religions. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's nice, dude.
You know what's interesting about the people from Islam, and I've talked to them, and they deny this flatly. And even though I've explained it to them, and I've told them this, that if you try to leave Islam, or if you say something bad against the prophet or whatever, the penalty is death. Or you can also get for witchcraft or sorcery, and the penalty for that is also death. Back in January of this year, 12 people were killed in the offices of the Paris magazine at the Charlie Hebdo by terrorists affiliated with the Al-Qaeda in Yemen, and the murders were over the satirical magazine's depictions of the Prophet Muhammad. As the gunman shouted, the prophet has been avenged. If your prophet is so powerful, why would you need to kill anybody over it?
Exactly.
Now,
let your God and your prophet come down here and tell me to knock this stuff off.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need you to tell me to knock this stuff off.
Back in March, there was a controversial free speech activist, Pamela Geller. She had a Draw Muhammad competition down in Texas, and 2 Islamic State-affiliated terrorists attacked the event down there, but they were shot and killed by security personnel when they went in to do this attack. And from what I understand, now, I saw the Draw Muhammad picture, and I have to admit, it was actually pretty good, the guy that won. This is our right as individuals. We have the right to say we don't believe in your Jesus, God, Prophet, Muhammad, Easter Bunny, whatever. We don't believe in it. There's no law that says that we have to respect it. Religion is an idea, and it does not deserve respect.
Yeah. But that event down in Texas stands apart, though. I mean, there was International Draw Muhammad Day, which was in reaction to the violence that erupted because of the publication of editorial cartoons. Mm-hmm. And so International Draw Muhammad Day was a statement about free speech and how religion is an idea and it's okay to criticize and even ridicule an idea. The event in Texas was held largely by anti-Islamic bigots. They actually didn't like Muslim people.
Right.
And so they were doing that just to be like inflammatory. They weren't really, I mean, there was a few people who were there who were like, it's our free speech. Of course it's your free speech, but you're also being a dick. Your motive isn't free speech and criticism of an idea. Your motive is to be hateful of a people.
Right.
So that event alone actually discouraged me from participating in Draw Muhammad Day this year. I didn't make a picture this year for the first time in many years.
Well, as I understand it, the Draw Muhammad Day actually originated several years ago when one person did this. They drew Muhammad, and they basically got a lot of death threats from people from Islam and everything.
Well, it started after editorial cartoons came out in.
I thought it was some kid or whatever.
No, it was the 12 editorial cartoons, the famous cartoons that were published in I think it was a Danish newspaper, and then there was riots and death threats and all that. So newspapers around the world started republishing them. Like, no, you can't tell us not to publish what we want.
Oh,
like
okay.
This is, and then after that, I think it was the Center for Inquiry. It may be them that came up with the idea of Draw Muhammad Day, and they said, all right, every year on this day, let's do this.
I honestly thought it was something that started back on Facebook.
No, it had more of an official thing than just being like grassrootsy or
Okay.
viral.
Okay, that's what I remember hearing. Maybe I'm wrong.
But,
Maybe
but
our
yeah,
commenters will that if you know for sure, leave in the comment section here below on YouTube when you watch this video later. So
the unfortunate thing about Draw Muhammad Day, and like I said, I participated many years in a row, is I would go and look at what other people had drawn, and I would always draw Muhammad doing something fun, like playing video games or skydiving, or he was always smiling in my drawings. He was always doing something very Western and fun, and I would look at what other people were drawing, and they would draw him like covered in blood and maxi pads, and it would be really stupid and juvenile humor, and I'd be like, what am I doing? I'm associated with these assholes.
Hey, I did that here on the show one time. I did it live right on the show. I drew a picture of Muhammad. It was a stick figure.
Yeah, it was a good drawing. That was a very good drawing. It was better than mine.
I don't know where my kids get their drawing talent because I don't have any.
I think you made yours into a flip book. He was like breakdancing, doing the moonwalk and shit. That was hot.
As I recall, it was a single sheet.
Well, you moved your hand back and forth over it many times.
Yeah, I went like this. I went, ooh, see? It's dancing. I danced around the screen a little bit, yeah. So, and Connie in the chat room said, mockery is fun. And yes, it is. And she also said, Thunderfoot had something to do with it. I once drew Muhammad as a grunge teen that had a garage band, Muhammad and the Goat Herders.
Nice. I think Connie has shown me her Muhammad drawings. She's a really good artist.
Yes, she is. She puts me to shame. Of course, so does everybody else. Actually, most 6-year-olds, a good coloring book, put my drawings to shame.
That's how you learn to draw when you're a kid. You copy what's in the coloring book. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, this is a drawing.
Yeah.
I could draw this.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. They kept saying, gotta stay within the lines. Fuck the lines. I'm just going everywhere I want.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus.
Mr. Priestley, I had to go get him tonight. Again, we ran out of gas for the tank. So I'm not filling that thing up. I just go to a couple blocks. It's a pig. So I went down and got him in my car real quick, and I scooted back over here. Oddly enough, he had somebody else with him that it wasn't Mrs. Beulah tonight for some reason. I was like, I don't know what he's doing in that bunker over there, but hey, to each his own. Just saying. So let's see what he has to say.
Dear Mr. Priestley, my son went on vacation to Saudi Arabia, and while he was there, they found out he was gay. This was discovered by one of the Mutaween police there, and he was charged with immorality. What can I do to help him? Sincerely, Nervous in New York.
Dear Nervous, I'm sorry to inform you, but your son was already lost before he went over there. It says in Leviticus 20:13, if a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them shall be put to death for their abominable deed. They have forfeited their lives.
Isn't that a bit harsh to say that?
No, Mr. Joel. Her son is considered to be a sinner in God's eyes and deserves what he gets while he is there. According to Romans 1:26-27, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for their women did change the natural use unto which is against nature, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was mate. Remember, boys and girls, Jesus had 2 dads, and he turned out okay. I think Mr. Priestley is... Mr. Priestley, just go sit in the car. He's fighting against people having of the same sex, and he says 2 dads. I don't know where he figures he's coming from now. He completely went off the rails there.
It's amazing that he can recite such long passages of scripture from memory.
I know. I don't know how he does it. I'm lucky I can remember my own zip code. I have to keep there's like 4 numbers, 5 numbers. What is it? No, I get too much stuff going on in my brain. I can remember numbers and shit. So much as a whole fucking passage of words. Connie in the chat room said he filled his head with so much scripture there. That could be why. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Mr. Priest is going to sit in the car, and I'll have to take him back after the show. In the meantime, we will be back next week with another short show. Hopefully, I won't be called into work, and we won't have to do this on a Wednesday again. But we should have a guest in 2 weeks. I'll be announcing him on the staff meeting, which is available also on iTunes next week. It'll should come out on Friday of next week if we do our staff meeting on our usual Wednesdays on Periscope. And if you would like to see us do the staff meeting, just watch our stream on Twitter. That's Packard Pokes At on Twitter, and the link will be broadcast out. And it's usually at 5 p.m., roughly 6 o'clock on Wednesdays afternoons. If you're on Facebook, please go and hit that like button. That'd be great. And we are coming up on, what is it, almost 300 episodes, isn't it, Joe?
300?
I know, right? We're coming up.
Good Lord.
Yes.
That is a lot of podcasts.
It is. I think that's like, 1/10 of 1% of all the podcasts that are out there. So. Yeah.
I know, it's so cute when I'm listening to a new podcast and they're like, and this is episode 50, and I'm like, good for you guys. Keep banging away.
Some don't make it that far. Some make it to episode. They get to like episode 5 and they're like, fuck it, we can't do this anymore.
Right. And the ones that make it to episode 5, I go and look at their Facebook page and I'm like, how the hell did they get 10,000 likes?
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell did they do? They only got 5 podcast shows out and they got 10,000. Like, how? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Once I do, I'll implement it.
You know what we should do? We should get Katie Sackhoff to be on the show.
Who?
Katie Sackhoff.
Who's that?
She's the actress that played Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. And I don't mean like a guest spot. I mean like we'll put her in regular rotation with the other hosts.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll happen.
So, yeah. So just work on that, and I think we'll get more listeners.
Yeah, that'll happen, Joe.
Let me know when you've made progress on that.
I'll let you know.
I expect to hear from you soon.
All right, well, we'll see you next week. This has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.